The year is 1532. Spanish scouts enter the high Andes. They observe a stone highway climbing straight into the sky. It does not bend. It does not curve to accommodate the slope. It is a ladder of carved granite, rising at 45 degrees. The invaders search for ruts. They search for the wear of heavy wooden wheels. They find nothing. Only the footprints of human feet. And the narrow, split hooves of llamas. This is the Capac Nan. 30,000 kilometers of paved stone. An empire constructed entirely without the wheel. At 4,200 meters above sea level, the air contains 40% less oxygen. A horse collapses from pulmonary edema. Its lungs fill with fluid. The Inca messengers do not collapse. They run. On day 1 of the invasion, the Spanish cavalry attempts the climb. The steel shoes of the horses slide on the wet granite stairs. 5 horses fall over the eastern cliff. The riders survive. The horses do not. By week 3, the invaders abandon their carts. The wheels are useless on the vertical terraces. They are left to rot in the valleys. The Roman Empire built roads for chariots. Smooth, flat corridors of trade. The Inca built stairways. For 5 centuries, historians called this primitive. A strange blind spot in an otherwise advanced culture. They assumed the Inca simply failed to invent the circle. This is the first error. The Inca knew the wheel. They put them on children's toys. They chose not to use them on their roads. The decision was not ignorance. It was thermodynamics. Enter the math. A wheel on a flat surface is a mechanical miracle. Friction is minimized. A wheel on a 30-degree slope is a weapon. Gravity pulls the load downward. To prevent the wheel from rolling back, the muscle must never rest. This is the gravity debt. It is an unpaid physical tax. Every second of ascent requires continuous, exhausting muscular contraction. If the carrier stops to breathe, the wheel rolls back. The muscle must fight gravity even when stationary. Energy is wasted merely holding the line. Stairs operate on a different physics. Granite steps create flat, horizontal platforms on vertical terrain. They decompose the incline into a sequence of 90-degree angles. When a carrier steps onto a stone stair, the skeletal system locks. The bone bears the weight. The muscle relaxes. A human carrying 40 kilograms can stand on a step indefinitely. The energy expenditure drops to baseline. The gravity debt is zero. The Inca built the vertical spine to exploit this math. They carved steps precisely matched to the stride of the human femur. They engineered landing platforms at intervals calculated by metabolic depletion. In 1998, thermodynamic modeling compared the two systems. On a 20-degree slope, a wheeled cart requires 3 times the caloric energy of a stair climber. By hour 6, the wheeled laborer suffers systemic muscle failure. The stair climber continues. Their heart rate remains stable at 140 beats per minute. The math is absolute. Underneath the granite steps lies the second layer. Subterranean drainage channels. They divert water away from the foundations before it can pool. During the wet season, 12 inches of rain fall in 48 hours. The surrounding hillsides collapse in mudslides. The Inca road remains dry. The network uses fractal geometry. It branches like blood vessels. Major arteries split into capillaries that feed every valley. A message sent from Quito reaches Cusco in 5 days. A distance of 2,000 kilometers. Carried by runners operating in continuous, 4-kilometer relays. The historical consensus is simple. The Inca were a primitive empire that succeeded despite lacking the wheel. We treat them as an anomaly. A brilliant mistake. This is the error. They did not lack the wheel. They rejected it. They recognized a law of physics we chose to ignore. The law of thermodynamic cost. Our modern cities are built on flat lines. We have ironed out the topography of the earth. We believe we have conquered gravity. We have not. We have only deferred the cost. The wheel is the pursuit of zero resistance. It is the elimination of physical effort. In a wheeled society, the body is spared the violence of the climb. But the absence of physical resistance breeds its own decay. Without the vertical demand, human bone density decreases. The cardiovascular system weakens. We sit in cushioned cabins, propelled by combustion. Our legs atrophy. Our hearts fail under the slightest strain. Every mile of flat asphalt requires constant energy to maintain. Every wheeled vehicle requires a continuous burn of fossil reserves. The moment the external energy stops, the flat world dies. This is the flat bias. It is the assumption that progress must be horizontal. We have flattened our cities to accommodate the wheel. We have built a world that cannot climb. The Inca looked at the vertical earth and accepted it. They did not try to flatten the Andes. They adapted their geometry to the planet. We did the opposite. We flattened the planet to fit our wheels. Now, we are trapped on the flat ground, paying a gravity debt we can no longer afford.